I've just spent the last 10 minutes trying to get the perfect camera angle, and even though I spent 10 minutes trying to set up the video, I know the lighting isn't great because I do not want that flash to be in my fucking face, because that shit is annoying. But guys, today I'm going to be talking a little about motivation and the science behind motivation, how I stay motivated, how you could get motivated, and the art of not having to be motivated to do the hard work. So first off is the science behind motivation. Motivation is almost small little dopamine hits, spikes in your brain that tells you to do something at a specific time, and only at that specific time. You know what I mean? It didn't tell you to do it it didn't tell you to do it when you didn't want to do it. It didn't tell you to do it while you were, in bed, you were comfortable eating chips, which of course I'm a victim of. I don't wake up at 5 a.m. and run 30 miles every day and eat vegetables 24/7, and I don't, but that's not the point. The point is the science behind motivation. Like I said, motivation are those little dopamine hits, those spikes, whether that's, you watching you seeing a motivating video and that tells you to, get off your ass and actually do something, and then you wanting to do it. That's motivation, Someone calling you a bad name, or just saying an insult, or that girl dumping you over text, or I don't know, just something, one of those things. Sorry. That's motivation. You being motivated to do something is way different than actual discipline. We'll get into that in a different video. But anyway, that's the science behind motivation. Only doing things, hard work related things, when you feel like it, not as opposed to when you don't feel like it, which is discipline. Anyway, that's the science behind it. Now, what makes me motivated is, guys, it's very sad to see that some people are genuinely not motivated. Not only that, some people are motivated, but just in the wrong way. Because motivation, you could be motivated to do something bad as much as you could be motivated to do something good. Obviously, when you think of the word motivation, it's always, in a positive, pertaining context. John was motivated to run a mile, or Timothy was motivated to go to the gym, but it's usually always tied to a positive thing, motivation. However, that is not the case. You could be motivated to, kill someone. Of course, it's not very good. You could be motivated to not do your laundry. You could be motivated, you know what I mean? Like, motivation comes in all shapes and sizes, You could watch too many seasons of Breaking Bad and be motivated to start selling drugs. That's the bad motivation. But yeah, motivation is basically everywhere. You could be motivated in a bad way, or a good way, which is obviously what you want. Now, it sucks to me that some people are so motivated to do just not very good things. You know what I mean? Some people would say, I've had people genuine people, or excuse me, not genuine people more in a sense that they're actually human, and they're not so much in the fact that they're actually genuine people, if that made sense. I'm not gonna edit this. 1, too fucking lazy. 2, I just want to keep it raw to watch my progress throughout my college experience, life experience, just everything. That's a shitty excuse to not edit, just because I'm too lazy. But anyway, yeah, I see a lot of people motivated to do just motivated to go home and play a video game, motivated to go home and watch Netflix. That's a genuine, I'm not gonna lie, that's not good motivation, but that is genuine motivation. That should be fucking illegal. I'm not gonna lie. So many people are just, they're okay with being, I'm sorry to say this, but average, and even less than average, and it's semi-scary to see. Even now, while I'm in college, I don't have a job. It's hard for me to find things and to create a new routine to build around all this free time, or to not build around it, but to implement things in this free time to not make it free anymore. You know what I mean? So, I've been, caught myself earlier lying down, eating chips, watching YouTube. I haven't been the most productive. I mean, I've been semi-productive, but I want to be more productive. And that's why I'm making this video, to try to pick up on a new skill, making videos, or at least videos like these, because I don't really make these too often. I originally just started making these workout videos for my friends and I to watch, and to me watch my progress and stuff like that. But you know, not in a sense where I'd like people to view them, or of course I'd like for people to view them, but you know what I mean. Though those were my expectations. Fucking anyway, I'm sorry, I kind of went off topic. Yeah, you see people motivated in such a wrong way. Motivated to go home and smoke that blunt, to go party, to go drink alcohol, to whatever the fuck. But now, what keeps me motivated? Guys, fuck, bro, I cannot stress this enough. I am a regular guy in a sense where I get problems handed to me left and right, just like you, just like everybody else. Now, those problems I turn into fucking literal anger, and I go out and I fucking do shit to distract myself. That's motivation. Shit like that motivates me, whether it's, you know, not going to get too deep into it, but, you know, whether that's, you know, a video I saw, you know, whether that's my parents, my parent wanting to be better for my parents, wanting to be better for myself, you know, a past relationship failing, whether it was a friend or a girl. That's what keeps me motivated. That's what you have to think about. You just have to think about it like this. The average man, or the average person right now, listen, I say this all the time in my head, but I never say it out loud because it really doesn't make sense. I'll say it out loud now, just because. But when you really think about it, the average person is just the average person. You know what I mean? So it doesn't really make much sense, but it makes sense to me. So you got to think about it like this, bro. Say, I'm going to use this analogy. Person A, I've used this before. Person A goes to school, right? They're a full-time student. That's all. Person B, they're a full-time student, plus they work out. Person C, they're a full-time student, they work out, plus they have a job. My point is, there is always going to be someone out there doing just a little bit more than the last person. And my motivation is, I want to make that gap so damn small. Like, that gap of people who are working harder than me, there's a lot of fucking people out there working harder than me, that are younger than me, less capable than me, less intelligent than me. It's fucking, like, not looking down at them, it's just, they just haven't had the life experience maybe, or they're younger, they might be a little bit dumber. I'm not looking down at them, I'm just being realistic, you know? And that makes me so upset, you know? So that's what motivates me. I just want to make that gap teeny tiny of people who are working harder than me. Of course, realistically, it'll be pretty much semi-impossible considering of how many fuckers are in the actual world. 8 billion people, right? So that makes 4 billion men. That makes probably 2 billion men that are between the ages 12 and 50. That's probably way off. Probably doesn't make sense. But anyway, there are a lot of 12-year-olds working harder than me. There are a lot of 50-year-olds working harder than me. All right, I don't know about 12-year-olds. I don't know how many there are, but there are probably a decent amount. And it's just fucking upsetting. So that's what motivates me. Anyways, the last thing I wanted to cover, how you could get motivated. A lot of my motivation comes from, honestly, knowing right from wrong. When I see a guy or a girl fucking twerking some ass in the club, or a guy, you know, speaking improper English, smoking some Mary Jane, and you know, just drinking alcohol. If you determine that is wrong, I'm not gonna lie, it's wrong. I don't fucking care what you have to say. That is wrong. Girls shaking some ass, that's wrong. Guy fucking smoking some weed and drinking alcohol, unhealthily, I should say, is wrong. If you determine that, if you're able to see that, right? See, if I look to my left, girls shaking ass, I look to my right, guy smoking and drinking, unhealthily, intoxicated. If you're able to tell that that is wrong, that's gonna get you ahead. I promise you it's gonna get you ahead, because it's gonna give you that drive. If you're the right person, you might just look at some girl shaking some ass, might get a little boner off of it. You might look at some guy, fucking doing drugs, and you might want to join him. It just depends on the person. But if you're the right person, and it'll affect you in the right way, and if this affects you in the right way, you will be able to see that girl shaking some ass, say, bro, that's fucking disgusting, man. I pray that my daughter isn't like that, and I pray that I find a woman who, I could ask for her hand in marriage, and she's not shaking some ass. That's what you want to think about. It's going to give you that drive and hunger to be away from it, motivate you to be better and be stronger. Guys smoking and drinking some weed and alcohol. Like I said before, person A looks at this guy, I want to join. Person B looks at this guy, and he thinks to himself, he's not a loser, because you don't know what this guy's going through. I'm not going to say this guy's a loser, but some people who do that are classified as losers, and loser isn't a solid term, I would say. It's more of an action. You're doing loser actions. I wouldn't say anyone is one loser, but I would say that they have loser tendencies. I have loser tendencies, me, but I'm not a loser. This guy who's smoking and drinking, failing out of school, is not a loser, but he just has loser tendencies. Now, some loser tendencies are a bit different, obviously. Some of the loser tendencies I have, sometimes I sleep in, and sometimes I wait until the end of the day to work out. And during the whole day, I don't really do too much. I'm not gonna lie, I just started doing that since I've been in college. I've kind of, just played around on my laptop, and I've been doing research, a lot of research and stuff, learning a lot of shit, but I could do it more. That's a loser tendency. Just not wasting your day, but just, I could be more productive. I have higher standards for myself, so I could be more productive. Anyway, but that doesn't make me a loser. This guy smoking and drinking, it doesn't make him a loser, but he has loser tendencies. Anyway, person A looks at this guy, he might want to join him. Person B looks at this guy and says, you know what? This dude really, I do not want to be like this guy. Especially if you see the same dude every fucking day, just partying, drinking, smoking. Like, not only that, you could party and drink and smoke. I truly believe it. But you have to, listen, I'm not a big believer in balance. If you want to get in, I fucking hate people who say life is about balance. If you want to get ahead in life, you got to work harder than you party or rest. But you could balance that out. I know a lot of kids who drink, smoke, and perhaps even party, but they still have a decent head on their shoulders. They still work hard in school, they still work out, they still have good morals-ish, and they still have good plans for their life. So I'm not against it. I'm just against it for myself. I'm not going to dislike someone because they smoke and drink. Anyway, that's a fucking different video. We're talking about motivation. I keep getting sidetracked. But anyway, you're going to look at this guy and you're going to think, I do not want to be like that. I'm not going to lie. Say if this guy has no good morals. He was just the opposite of the guys I were telling you about 5 seconds ago. The guys that I know that actually have pretty good morals. They plan their life out pretty well. They work hard in school, but they drink, party, and smoke. Say this guy is the opposite. He drinks, parties, and smokes, but this guy's just kind of like a herbivore. He's kind of like a loser, like a semi loser, right? Excuse me. Anyway, say if he's like that, you're gonna, if you're the right person, it'll affect you in a way where you're gonna say to yourself, I do not want to be like this. I want to, it's every time I run, I work out, you have to have a little ego. You have to be a little cocky. You have to think that you gotta think that you're the shit, bro, because, it's not faking it until you make it, because I genuinely believe that I could do anything. Thinking in practical terms, in practicality and realistically, I cannot do anything. I cannot go out there and run a 3-minute mile. But I swear to God, I truly believe that I can. It's fucking ridiculous, bro. You just have to have some sort of, it's insanity. You gotta be fucking insane, bro. Anyway, that's my spiel on motivation. I got sidetracked a lot. I'll be better at making these videos. If I'm not a huge, I mean, if these videos get a lot of viewers, that'd be awesome, but then I might start editing them. But right now I'm just gonna kind of keep them raw, kind of keep them you know, to myself-ish. Well, I'm gonna post it, but yeah. So yeah, I'm just gonna go over everything real quick. How to be motivated. Actually, let me not end the video there. When I talked about giving you guys motivation, I only really talked about girls shaking some ass, wanting to get away from that, wanting to build a better life for yourself, your future fiance or husband, whatever. Guy shaking dick, I don't fucking know, bro. It could go both ways. And the guy who smokes and drinks. What I told you guys was, you want to be away from that. That was only one piece of motivation. I'm going to give you a few more. 2, everybody has trauma, some sort of trauma. Even guys who grow up in the upper class, very nice neighborhoods, beautiful, loving parents, they're going to have, you know, that grandfather that died when they were 12 that they were close with, you know, that they always went for walks together. They're going to have some sort of trauma, you know, whether it's anything, you know. You want to just use it, man. You want to take advantage of the hardships that you've had in your life. The grandfather one was a bit too harsh, but that's the only one I could see generally everyone having in their life as a hardship, like a grandparent or maybe someone dying. And unfortunately, that is just the reality of things, you know, that so many people have that. Even people, you know, just everyone. But you want to use that, not that specifically, because that doesn't make sense. Like, you're just running, yeah, my fucking grandfather died, like, the fuck, bro? I mean, I guess you could, but it's kind of sadistic. Anyway, you know, like I said before, everyone has a friend who stabbed them in their back. Everyone's parents said something to them that just didn't hit home. Everyone's had that girlfriend/boyfriend that fucking either cheated up a storm or fucking, you know, just did whatever to them. Everyone has that teacher who said a mean comment to them. Everyone had that fucking peer that, you know, said they were ugly. Everyone has that. Use that shit. You don't want to care what people think, but that's not caring what people think. Just fucking, as you're doing whatever, as you wake up to when you're starting a business or anything of that nature, you just want to think of in the back of your head, yeah, fuck these guys, you know. I guess starting a business isn't really a good analogy, because my motivation comes from mostly intense training. Or excuse me, that's not what it comes from. My use of motivation comes from intense training. Or no, my use of motivation leads into intense training, physical training, whether it's working out or running. But yeah, I guess you don't really, how do I explain this? I have this thing where I got extremely lucky, thank God. I'm always motivated. Always motivated. I'm more motivated than disciplined, which is normal, but I would say they go neck and neck. They're pretty close. They're comparable with each other. I got lucky, man. I just really like to push myself, and I think that everyone could do that. You know, you could do that, and of course, what else do I have to say? That's really it, man. Like, just use your hardships, and not only that, just think of what you could look like in 3 months, who you could be in 3 months, in a month, in 10 days, in 2 weeks, in 5 months, in 6 months, in a year, or 2 years. Just think about what you could look like and how you could be mentally and physically, of course. If you think about that, if you really start to paint a picture of how you look, you will just work your ass off. It's really all I have to say. I broke down, you know, some of the things in motivation, what keeps me motivated, how to be motivated, and the science behind it. Also, one more thing, guys, I like to say is, I'm gonna make a video on discipline, but motivation is just a small part of what you need to get things done, which is the scary part. You know, even though in the beginning of the video I was kind of shitting on motivation, saying that it was small dopamine spikes, just telling you what you want to do, or telling you what to do at that moment. It is still very useful, very, very useful tool, especially, I mean, the more you use it, the more useful it is, you know, that goes without saying. But yeah, that's really all I have to say. I hope you enjoyed the video. Yeah, hopefully I get better at making these shits. Have fun.